Listen!
Here, master. What cheer?
Speak to the mariners, fall to the Yarley, or we run ourselves aground. Bestir, bestir!
Take in the topsail, tend to the master's whistle. Blow till thou burst thy wind, if room enough.
Good boatswain, have care. Where's the master?
I pray now, keep below.
Where's the master, boatswain?
Do you not hear him? You mar our labor, keep your cabins. You do assist the storm.
Nay, good, be patient.
When the sea is, hence, what cares these roars for the name of king? To cabin, silence, trouble us not.
Good. Yet remember who thou hast aboard.
None that I love more than myself. Out of our way, I say.
Down with the topmast. Lower, lower.
Howling! Yet again, what did you hear? Have you a mind to sink?
A pox on your throat, you bawling, blasphemous, incharitable dog!
Work you then.
Hang, cur, hang! You whoresome, insolent noisemaker! We are less afraid to be drowned than thou art.
Lay her a hold, set her 2 courses, off to sea again, lay her off!
To prayers, to prayers!
The king and the prince are at prayers. Let us assist them, for our case is as theirs.
I am out of patience.
Ah! Mercy on us!
We split! We split!
Farewell, my wife and children.
We
split! We split!
What?
We split!
Let's all sink with the king!
Let's take leave of him.
If by your art, my dearest mother, you have set the wild waters in this roar, allay them. Oh, I have suffered with those that I saw suffer. A brave vessel who had no doubt some noble creature in her dashed all to pieces. Poor souls, they perished.
Be collected. No more amazement. Tell your piteous heart that there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day!
No harm. I have done nothing but in the care of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art.
More to know did never meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time I should inform thee farther. Wipe thou thine eyes, have comfort.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped and left me to bootless inquisition.
The hour's now come. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old.
Certainly, ma'am, I can. 'Tis far off and rather like a dream than an assurance that my remembrance warrants. Had I not 4 or 5 women that once tended me?
Thou hadst done more, Miranda. 12 years since, Miranda. 12 years since. Thy mother was the Duchess of Milan and a woman of power.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we that we came from thence?
By foul play, as thou say'st, were we heaved thence. My sister and thy aunt, called Antonia. I pray thee mark me, that a sister should be so perfidious, she whom next to thyself of all the world I loved, and to her put the manage of my state, thy false aunt. Dost thou attend me?
Ma'am, most heedfully.
I pray thee, mark me. And my false sister awakened an evil nature, and my trust, like a good parent, did beget of her a falsehood in its contrary as great as my trust was, which had indeed no limit. She did believe she was indeed the Duchess out of all the substitution and executing the outward face of royalty with all the prerogative hence her ambition growing. Dost thou hear?
Your tale, ma'am, would cure deafness.
This king of Naples, being an enemy to me, inveterate, hearkens my sister's suit, whereon a treacherous army levied one midnight, followed to the purpose did Antonia open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness, the ministers for the purpose hurried thence, me and thy crying self.
Alack, for pity! Wherefore do they not that hour destroy us?
In few, they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a boat, not rigged nor tackle, sail or mast. There they hoist us, to cry to the sea that roared to us.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, cherubim, thou wast that did preserve me.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine, some food we had, and some fresh water, that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of her charity did give us, with rich garments and linen stuffs and necessaries, which since have steaded much. Knowing I loved my books, she furnished me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my station.
Would I might but ever see that gentlewoman. But now, I pray you, ma'am, for still 'tis beating on my mind, your reason for raising this sea storm?
Know thus far forth, by accident most strange, bountiful fortune, now my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to this shore. Here, cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness, and give it way. I know thou canst not but choose. Come away, servant, come, I'm ready now. Approach my Ariel, come.
All hail, great master! Grave dame, hail! I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds, to thy strongest bidding, task Ariel, and to all his quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed the point, the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship, now on the beak, now in the waist, the deck, in every cabin I flamed amazement. Sometimes I divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yards, and the bowsprit I would flame distinctly, then meet and join. Jove's lightning, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary in sight outrunning were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident straight.
My brave spirit! Who was so firm, so constant that this coil would not infect his reason?
Not a soul but felt the fever of the mad and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged in the foaming brine and quit the vessel, then all afire with me. The king's son Ferdinand, with hair up staring, then like reeds not hair, was the first man that leapt, cried, "Hell is empty and all the devils are here!"
Oh, why that's my spirit. But are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments not a blemish, but fresher than before. And, as thou badst me, but in troops I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, whom I left cooling of the air with sighs in an odd angle of the isle, sitting his arms in this sad knot.
Of the king's ship, the mariners, say how thou hast disposed, and all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in harbor is the king's ship. The mariners all under hatches stowed, who, with a charm joined to their suffered labors, I have left asleep.
Ariel, thy charge is exactly performed, but there's more work.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised. which has not yet performed me.
How now? Moody? What is't thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Before the time is out? No more.
Please, I prithee, remember I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made no mistakings, served without or grudge or grumblings. Thou didst promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what torment I did free thee?
I do not, ma'am.
Thou liest, malignant thing. Hast thou forgot the foul witch Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgot her?
No, ma'am.
I must once in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgetst. This damned witch Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible to enter human hearing, from Argier, thou knowest, was banished. Is that not true?
Aye, ma'am.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and here left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reportst thyself, was then her servant. Refusing her grand hest, she did confine thee into a cloven pine, within which rift, imprisoned, thou didst painfully remain 12 years. Within which space she died, and left thee there. Then was this island, save for the son that she did litter here, a freckled whelp hag-born, not honored with a human shape.
Aye, Caliban, her son.
Dull thing, I say so. He, that Caliban, whom now I did keep in service. Thou best knowest what torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make the wolves howl and penetrate the breasts of ever angry bears. It was mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou murmurest, I will rend an oak and peg thee in his naughty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master, I will be correspondent to command and do my spiriting gently.
Do so. And after 2 days I will discharge thee.
There's my gentle master. What shall I do? Say what? What shall I do?
Go, make thyself a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go, hence with diligence. Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well. Awake.
The strangeness of your story put a heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on. We'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain, ma'am, that I do not love to look on.
He does make our fire fetch in our wood and serve in offices that profit us. What ho, slave! Caliban! Thou earth, thou speak!
There's wood enough within.
Come forth, I say. There's other business for thee. Thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself upon thy wicked dam. Come forth.
Southwest wind blow on ye and blister ye all over.
For this, be sure tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches, that shall pen up thy breath. Urchin shall forth at vast of night, that they may work all exercise on thee.
This island is mine by Sycorax my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me and made much of me, would give me water with berries in it, and teach me how to name the bigger light and how the less, that burn by day and night. Oh, and I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the isle. Fresh springs, brine pits, barren place and fertile. Oh, curse be I that did so! All the charms of sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you! For I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king. Here you stymie in this hard rock, while you still keep me from the rest of the isle.
Thou most lying slave! Whose stripes may move, not kindness. I have used thee, filth as thou art, with human care, and lodged thee in mine own cell till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
What had it been done? That didst prevent me. I had peopled else this isle with caravans.
Abhorred slave, which any print of goodness wilt not take, being capable of all ill. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or other, when thou didst not, savage, know thine own meaning, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish. I endowed thy purposes with words that made them known. But, though thou didst learn, thou had in thee that which good natures could not abide to be with. Therefore, wast thou deservedly confined into this rock, who hadst deserved more than a prison.
Ah, you taught me the language, and my profit on it is, I know how to curse! The Red Plague rid you for learning me your language!
Feed hence!
Ah!
Fetch us in fuel, and be quick. If thou neglectst or dost unwillingly what I command, I'll rack thee with old cramps, fill all thy bones with aches, make thee roar that thee shall tremble at the din.
No! Prithee. Oh, I must obey. Her art is of such power.
Go, slave, hence!
Ah!
Come unto these yellow sands, and then take hands. Curtsied when you haven't kissed the wild waves whist. Put it vaguely here and there, and sweet sprites there. The burden hark. Bow wow, the watchdogs bark. Bow wow, hark, hark, I hear the strain of strutting chanticleer cry cock-a-diddle dow.
Where should this music be? The air of the earth. It sounds no more, and yet sure it waits upon some god of the island. Sitting on a bank, weeping again the king my father's wrack, this music crept by me upon the waters, allaying both their fury and my passion with its sweet air. Thence how I have followed it, or it hath drawn me, rather, but 'tis gone. No, begins again.
Full fathom 5 thy father lies, of his bones are coral made, those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea of change into something rich and strange, seen in sourly ring his knell. Ding dong, I hear them now. Ding dong, ding dong bell.
As he does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business, nor no sound that the earth owes. I hear it now above me.
What is it? A spirit? Lord, how it looks about! Believe me, ma'am, it carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit!
No, wench. It eats and sleeps, and hath such senses as we have. Such. Gallant which thou seest was in the rack. He hath lost his fellows and strays about to find them.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
It goes on, I see. Oh, as my soul prompts it. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll free thee within 2 days for this.
Most sure, the goddess on whom these airs attend, my prime request, oh, you wonder, is if you be maid or no.
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language, heavens, I am the best of them that speak this speech were I but where 'tis spoken.
How? The best? What wert thou if the King of Naples heard thee?
He does hear me, and that he does I weep. Myself am Naples, who with mine eyes never since Edab beheld the king my father racked.
Alack, for mercy!
At first sight they have changed the eyes. Delicate Ariel, oh, I'll set thee free for this. A word, good sir. I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word.
Why speaks my mother so ungently? This is the second man that e'er I saw, the first I e'er sighed for. Pity, move my mother to be inclined my way.
Oh, if a virgin and your affection not gone forth, I'll make you the Queen of Naples.
Soft, sir. One word more. They are both in each other's powers. But this is swift business. I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. One word more I charge thee, that thou attend me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou owest not, and hast put thyself upon this island as a spy to win it from me, the Lord on it.
No, as I am a man.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple.
Follow me. Speak not you for him, he's a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shall thou drink. Follow.
No, I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power.
Oh, dear mother, make not too rash a trial of him, for he is gentle and not fearful.
What say I, traitor? Put up thy sword, traitor. Who makest a show but darest not strike? Thy conscience is so possessed with guilt. For I can here disarm thee with this stick, and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech you, mother.
Hence hang not on my garments.
Ma'am, have pity.
Silence! One word more, it should make me chide thee. Thou thinkst that there are no more shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban. Foolish wench. To the most of men, this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections are then most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again, and have no vigor in them.
So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. My father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wrack of all my friends, nor this woman's threats to whom I am subdued are but light to me. Might I but through my prison once a day behold this maid.
It works. Thou hast done well, fine Ariel. Follow me. Hark what thou else shalt do me.
Be of comfort. My mother's of a better nature, sir, than she appears by speech.
Thou shalt be as free as mountain winds, but then exactly do all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Come, follow. Speak not for him.
Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause. So have we all, for the joy of our escape is far beyond our loss. Then wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, peace.
He receives his comfort like cold porridge.
Oh, therefore, my lord, I think...
prithee, spare.
Well, I have done.
Though this island seemed to be a desert, uninhabitable and almost inaccessible.
It must needs be of subtle, tender, and delicate temperance.
Temperance was a delicate wench.
Aye, and as subtle as he most learnedly delivered.
The air breathes upon us here most sweetly.
As if it had lungs and rotten ones.
Or as 'twere perfumed by fen.
Here is everything advantageous to life.
True, saves means to live.
Of that there is none, or little.
How lush and lusty the grass looks. How green.
The ground is indeed tawny.
With an eye of green in it.
He misses not much.
No, he doth but mistake the truth totally.
But the rarity of it is, which indeed is most beyond credit,
Which, as many vouched rarities are.
that our garments, being as they were, drenched in the sea, hold notwithstanding their freshness and gloss, but being rather new dyed than stained with salt water.
If but one of his pockets could speak, would it not say he lies?
Aye, or very falsely pocket up his report.
Methinks our garments are as fresh as when we put them on in Afric at the marriage of the king's fair daughter Claribel to the king of Tunis.
'Twas a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in its return.
Sir, I was saying our garments seem now as fresh as when we were at Tunis at the marriage of your daughter, who's now queen. Is not my dress as fresh as the first day I wore it? I mean, in a sort.
That sort was well wished for.
When I wore it at your daughter's marriage.
You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of mine sense. Would that I had never married my daughter there for coming thence. My son is lost.
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him and ride upon their backs. I not doubt he came alive to land.
No, he's gone.
Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss that would not bless our Europe with your daughter.
Prithee, peace.
You were kneeled to and importuned otherwise by all of us. We have lost your son, I fear, forever. The fault is your own.
So is the dearest of the loss.
My lord Sebastian, the truth you speak does lack some gentleness and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Nay, good lord, be not angry.
No, I'll warrant you. I will not venture my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh me to sleep? For I am very heavy.
Go, sleep, and hear us.
What, all so soon asleep? Oh, I wish mine eyes would with themselves shut up my thoughts. I find they're inclined to do so.
Please you, sir, do not omit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow, and when it doth, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take rest and watch you safely.
Thank you. Oh, wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate.
Why doth it not then our eyelids sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together all, as by consent they dropped by a thunderstroke. What might, worthy Sebastian, and yet methinks I see it in thy face, what thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What? Art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do, and surely it is a sleepy language, and thou speakst out of thy sleep. What is it thou didst say?
Noble Sebastian, will you grant me with me that Ferdinand is dead?
He is drowned.
Tell me then, who's the next heir of Naples?
Claribel.
She that is queen of Tunis? She that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life? Whereof what's past is prologue. What to come is yours and my discharge.
What stuff is this? How say you? 'Tis true, my brother's daughter's queen of Tunis. So is she heir to Naples, twixt which reasons there is some space.
Say this is death that now has seized them, why they are no worse than they are now. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do. What sleep is this for your advancement? Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how does your content tender your good fortune?
I remember you did supplant your sister Prospera.
True, and look how well my garments sit upon me.
But for your conscience.
Aye, sir, where is that? Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon, whom with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it could lie to bed forever.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou gotst Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword. 1 stroke shall free thee from the tribute thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall it on Gonzalo.
My master, through her art, foresees the danger that you, her friend, are in, and sends me forth, for else her project dies, to keep them living. While you here do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy his time doth take. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware. Awake, awake, awake!
Let us both be sudden.
Your sweet angels, preserve the king!
Why, how now, ho, awake, why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
Whilst we stood here, securing your repose, even now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing like wolves.
Wolves.
Or rather, lions. Didst not wake you? It struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, 'twas a din to fright a monster's ear, to make an earthquake. Sure, it was a whole herd of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
On my honor, sir, I heard a humming, and it was a strange one, too, which did wake me. I shaked you, sir, and cried. As my eyes opened, I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that's verily. 'Tis best we stand our guard or quit this place. Let's draw our weapons.
Lead off this ground, and let's make further search for my poor son.
Heavens keep him from these beasts, for sure he is in the isle.
Lead away.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats on Prosper fall and make her by inch meal a disease. Oh, her spirits do hear me, and yet I needs must curse. Oh, sometimes like apes that mow and chatter at me and after bite me. Oh, and sometimes am I all wound with adders who with cloven tongues do hiss me into madness. Lo now, lo. Here comes a spirit of hers, and to torment me for bringing my wood in slowly. I'll fall flat. Perchance he will not mind me.
Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear up any weather at all. And another storm brewing. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one, looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. If it should thunder as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but fall by pailfuls. What do we have here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? A fish! He smells like a fish! A very ancient and fish-like smell. Leg like a man and his fins like arms. I do now let loose my opinion, hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander. That hath lately suffered by a thunderbolt. Whoa. Alas, the storm has come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There's no other shelter hereabout. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. I will here shroud till the dregs of the storm be past.
I shall no more to sea. Here shall I die ashore. This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's to my comfort. Oh, the master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner and his mate, loved Mel, Mag, Marian, and Marge, but none of us cared for Kate, for she had a tongue with tang, would yell to the sailors, go hang. Oh, she loved not the savor of tar nor pitch, but a tailor might scratch her where she did itch. Ha ha ha! Then to sea, boys, and let her go hang. That's a scurvy tune, too. Well, here's to my comfort.
Do not torment me.
What's the matter? Have we devils here? Ha! I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your 4 legs?
Oh, the spirits torment me so.
This is some monster of the isle with 4 legs, who hath got, as I take it, an ague. Where the devil should he learn our language? I will give him some relief.
Do not torment me. Oh, prithee, I'll bring my wood home faster.
He's in a fit now. He shall taste of my bottle. If he have never drunk wine afore, it will go near to remove his fit. If I can recover him, keep him tame, I will not take too much for him. He shall pay for him that hath him, and that soundly.
Oh, thou dost me yet but little hurt. I know by thy trembling now prosper works on thee.
Come on your ways, open your mouth. Here is which that will give you language, cat. Open your mouth. Drink this. This will shake your shaking. Open your chaps again.
Voice, it should be, but he is drowned and these are devils. Oh, defend me.
4 legs and 2 voices? A most delicate monster. His forward voice now is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help his ague. Come, drink. I will pour some in thy other mouth.
Stefano!
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, this is a devil and no monster. I will leave him.
If thou beest Stefano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo. Be not afeared, thy good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by thy lesser legs. If any be Trinculo's legs, these are they. Ah, thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be in the siege of this mooncalf?
I took him to be killed with a thunderstroke. But art thou not drowned, Stefano? Is the storm overblown? I hid me under the dead mooncalf's gabardine for fear of the storm. And art thou living, Stefano? Oh, Stefano.
Oh, prithee, do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things, as if they be not sprites. That's a brave god that bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How didst thou escape? How camest thou hither? Swear by this bottle how thou camest hither. I will escape. I escaped upon a butt of sack, which the sailors heaved overboard by this bottle. Since I was cast ashore.
Oh, I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for that liquor is not earthly.
Here, swear then how thou escapest.
Swam ashore, man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
Here, kiss the book. Thou canst swim like a duck. Thou art made to look like a goose.
Oh, Stefano, hast any more of this?
The whole butt, man. My cellar is in a rock by the seaside, where my wine is hid. How now, mooncalf? How does thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon. I do assure thee, I was the man in the moon when time was.
Oh, I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee.
Come, swear to that. Kiss the book, swear.
This good light, this is a very shallow monster. I fear to him, a very weak monster. The man in the moon, a most poor, credulous monster.
I shall show thee every fertile inch of the isle, and I will kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my god.
By this light, a most perfidious and drunken monster.
I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Come on then, down and swear it.
I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster, a most scurvy monster. I could find in my heart to beat in.
Come, kiss.
An abominable monster.
Oh, I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee and get thee wood enough. Oh, a plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll beat her no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
A most ridiculous monster, to make wonder of a poor drunkard.
Oh, I prithee, let me bring thee where crabs grow, and with my long nails I'll dig thee pig nuts, show thee how the jay's nest, and how to instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. Wilt thou go with me?
I prithee now, lead the way without any more talking. Trinculo, the king and all our company else being drowned, we will inherit here. Here, bear my bottle, fellow Trinculo.
Farewell, master, farewell, farewell.
Falling monster, a drunken...
No more dams, I'll make for fish. No fetch it firing, hat requiring, no scraping the herring, no wash dish. Caliban has a new master, got a new man. Freedom, hi-ho, high day, freedom, freedom, high day, freedom.
Oh, brave monster, lead the way.
This my mean task would be as heavy to me as odious, but the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead, and makes my labors pleasures. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her mother's crabbed, and she's composed of harshness. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up upon a sore injunction. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work, and says such baseness had never like executor. I forget, but these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labors most busiest when I do it.
Alas now, pray you, work not so hard. Pray, set it down and rest you. My mother is hard at study. Pray now, rest yourself. She is safe for these 3 hours.
Oh, most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs the while. Pray, give me that. I'll carry it to the pile.
No, precious creature, I'd rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonor undergo while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease.
Poor worm, thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look wearily.
No, noble mistress, 'tis fresh morning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you, chiefly that I might set it in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my mother, I broke your hest to say so.
Admired Miranda. Indeed, the top of admiration, worth what's dearest to the world. Full many a lady I have eyed with best regard, and many a time the harmony of their tongues hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. For several virtues have I liked several women, never any with so full soul, but some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed, and put it to the foil. But you, oh, you, so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best.
I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my mother's precepts I therein do forget.
I am in my condition a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. I would not so. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you did my heart fly to your service, and for your sake am I this patient log man.
Do you love me?
O heaven, O earth, bear witness to this sound, and crown what I profess with kind event if I speak true. I, beyond all limit of what else in the world, do love, prize, honor you.
I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of.
Fair encounter of two most rare affections. Heavens rain grace upon that which breeds between them.
Hey, wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desired to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. But this is trifling, and all the more seeks to hide itself. I am your wife, if you will have me. If not, I'll die your maid.
My mistress, dearest, and I thus humble ever.
My husband, then?
Aye, with a heart as willing as bondage ere freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine, with my heart in it. And now, farewell, till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
So glad of this as they I cannot be, who are surprised withal. But my rejoicing at nothing can be more. All to my book, for yet ere supper time I must perform much business appertaining.
Drink, servant monster! Drink to me!
Servant monster, the folly of this island.
Drink, servant monster. When I bid thee, those eyes are almost set in thy head.
Where should they be set else? He were a brave monster indeed if they were set in his tail.
My man monster hath drowned his tongue in sack. Thou shalt be my lieutenant, monster, or my standard.
Your lieutenant, if you list. He's no standard.
Will not run, monsieur monster.
Nor go neither. He'll lie like dogs, and yet say nothing neither.
Mooncalf, for once in your life, speak. If thou beest a good mooncalf.
How dost thou honor? Oh, let me lick thy shoe. Oh, I'll not serve him. He's not valiant.
Thou liest, ignorant monster. Why, thou debauched fish, thou.
Lo, how he mocks me. Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such a natural.
Oh, lo again! I'll bite him to death, I pray thee. Ah!
Trinculo, keep a good tongue in thy head. The poor monster's my subject, and he shall not suffer indignity.
I thank you, my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made thee?
Marry will I. Kneel and repeat it. I will stand, and so shall Trinculo.
As I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorceress that by her cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest!
What thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! I would my valiant master would destroy thee, I do not lie!
Trinculo, if you trouble him any more in his tale, by this hand I'll supplant some of your teeth.
Why, I said nothing.
Mum then, and no more. Proceed.
I say by sorcery she got this isle, and from me she got it. Thou shalt be lord of it, and I shall serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Yea, my lord. I'll yield her thee asleep, where thou may knock a nail into her head.
Thou liest, thou canst not.
Oh, what a pie ninny is this, thou scurvy patch! I do beseech thy greatness to give him blows and take his bottle from him.
Trinculo, run into no further danger. Interpret the monster one word further, and by this hand I'll turn my mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee.
Why? What did I? I did nothing. I'll go further off.
Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest.
Do I so? Take thou that. As you like this, give me the lie another time.
I did not give the lie. A pox on your bottle, a murrain on your monster, and the devil take your fingers.
Now forward with your tale. Prithee, stand farther off.
Beat him enough. After a little time, I'll beat him too.
stand farther. Come, proceed.
Why, as I told thee, 'tis custom with her in the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayst brain her, having first seized her books, or with a log batter her skull, or punt her with thy stake, or cut her weazen with thy knife. Remember, first to possess her books, for without them she is but a sot. And thou most deeply to consider is the beauty of her daughter.
Is it so brave, alas?
Aye, Lord. She will become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood.
Monster, I will kill her.
Ha ha!
Her daughter and I will be king and queen, and Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent.
Give me thy hand. I am sorry that I beat thee, but whilst thou art living, keep a good tongue in thy head.
Within this half hour wilt she be asleep. Wilt thou destroy her then?
Aye, on my honor.
This will I tell my master.
Oh, thou makest me merry. I am full of pleasure. Let us be joking.
At thy request, monster. Come on, Trinculo, let us sing. Floutum and scoutum and scoutum and floutum. Thought is free.
Oh, that's not the tune.
What is this same?
This is the tune of our catch, played by the picture of nobody.
If thou beest a man, show thyself in thy likeness. If thou beest the devil, take thou as thou list.
Oh, forgive me my sins.
I defy thee.
Art thou afeard?
No, monster, not I.
Oh, be not afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twanging instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometimes voices that, if I had then waked after a long sleep, will make me sleep again. And then, in dreaming, the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me, that when I waked, I cried to dream again.
This will prove a brave kingdom to me, where I shall have my music for nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed.
That shall be by and by. I remember the story.
Sound is going away. Let's follow it, and after, do our...
Lead, monster, we'll follow. I would I could see this taberer. Wilt come?
I'll follow, Stefano.
By your lake, and I can go no further, sir. My old bones ache. Here's a maze trod indeed through forthright meanders. By your patience, I need rest me.
Old Lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness to the dulling of my spirits. Sit down and rest. Even here I will put off my hope and keep it no longer for my flatterer. He is drowned whom thus we stray to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land.
I am right glad he's out of hope. Do not, for one repulse, forgo the purpose that thou resolved to effect.
The next advantage will we take thoroughly.
Let it be tonight, for now they are oppressed with travel. They will not, nor cannot, use such vigilance as when they are fresh.
I say tonight, no more.
What harmony is this? My good friends, hark!
Marvelous sweet music?
Oh, give us, kind keepers, heavens, what were these?
A living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns, and that in Arabia there is one tree, the phoenix throne, one phoenix at this hour reigning there.
I'll believe both. And what else want credit come to me, and I'll swear that true.
If in Naples I should report this now, who would believe me? For I should say I saw such islanders. For certes, these are people of the island, though in their monstrous shape, yet note their manners are gentle, kind. Then of our human generation you will find many, nay, almost any.
Honest Lord, thou hast said well, for some of you there present are worse than devils.
I cannot too much muse, such shapes, such gesture, and such sound, expressing
praise in departing.
They vanished strangely.
Matter, since they have left their viands behind, for we have stomachs. Will it please you to taste of what is here?
Faith, sir, you need not fear.
I will stand to and feed, although my last, no matter, since I feel the best is past, stand to and do as we.
You are three men of sin, whom destiny that hath to instrument this lower world and what is in it, the never surfeited sea hath caused to belch up you. And on this island, where men doth not inhabit, you mongst men being most unfit to live, I have made you mad. You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate. The elements of whom your swords are tempered may as well wound the loud winds, or with bemocked at stabs kill the still closing waters, as diminish one dowel that's in my plume. But remember, for that's my business to you, for you three from Milan did supplant good Prospero, exposed unto the sea which hath requited she and her innocent child. For which foul deed the powers, delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores, yea, all the creatures against your peace. Thee of thy son, Alonso, they have bereft, and do pronounce by me lingering perdition, shall step by step attend you and your ways. Whose wrath to guard you from, which here in this most desolate isle else falls upon your heads, is nothing but hot sorrow and a clear life ensuing.
Bravely the figure of this harpy thou hast performed, my Ariel. My high charms work. And these mine enemies are all knit up in their distractions. They are now in my power. And in these fits, I leave them while I visit young Ferdinand, whom they suppose is drowned, and his and mine loved darling.
In the name of something holy, sir, why stand you here with a strange stare?
It is monstrous, monstrous. Methought the billows spoke and told me of it. The winds did sing it to me, and the thunder, that deep and dreadful organ pipe, pronounced the name of Prosper.
Prosper.
It did base my trespass. Therefore, my son in the ooze is bedded, and I'll seek him deeper than e'er plummet sounded, and with him there lie mudded.
But one fiend at a time, I'll fight their legions o'er.
I'll be thy second.
All three of them, desperate, their great guilt, like poison given to work after a time, now begins to bite their spirits.
Follow, I pray you.
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends. For I have given you here a third of mine own life, or that for which I live. Who once again I tender to thy hand. All thy vexations were but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. Here afore heaven, I ratify this my rich gift. And Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast of her, for thou shalt find that she will outstrip all praise and make it halt behind her.
I do believe it against an oracle.
Then as my gift and thine own acquisition worthily purchased, take my daughter. But if thou dost break her virgin knot before all sanctimonious ceremonies may with full and holy rite be ministered, no sweet aspiration shall the heavens let fall. To make this contract grow, but barren hate and discord beshrew. The union of your bed with weeds so loathy that you shall hate it both. Therefore take heed, as Hymen's lamps shall light you.
As I hope for quiet days, fair issue, and long life, with such love as 'tis now, the murkiest den, the most opportune place, the strongest suggestion our worse or genius can, shall never melt mine honor into lust to take away the edge of that day's celebration.
Fairly spoke. Sit with her then and talk with her. She is thine own. What? Ariel, my industrious servant! Ariel!
What would my potent master? Here I am.
Thou and thy meaner fellows your last service did worthily perform.
Oh.
And I must use you in another such trick.
Mm-hmm.
Go bring the rabble o'er here, whom I give thee power, here to this place. Incite them with quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of my art. It is my promise, and they expect it of me.
Oh, presently?
Aye, with a twink.
Before you can say, come and go, and breathe twice and cry so, each one tripping on his toe, we'll be here with mop and mow. Do you love me, master? No?
Oh, dearly, my delicate Ariel. Do not approach till thou dost hear me call.
Well, I can see.
Look thou to be true. Do not give dalliance too much rein. The strongest oaths are straw to the fire in the blood. Be more abstemious, or else good night your vow.
I warrant you, ma'am. The white, cold, virgin snow upon my heart abates the ardor of my liver.
Well, now come, my Ariel, appear and pertly. All eyes, be silent.
Ceres, most bounteous lady, the queen of the sky, approach rich Ceres here to entertain.
Hail, many-colored messenger, why hath thy now summoned me hither to this short-grassed green?
A contract of true love to celebrate, and some devotion freely do estate on the blessed lovers.
Highest queen of state, great Juno comes. I know her by her gait.
How does my bounteous sister? Go with me to bless this twain, that they may prosperous be and honored in their issue. Honor, riches, marriage, blessing, long continuance and increasing. Hourly joys be still upon you. Juno sings her blessings on you.
Scarcity and want shall shun you. Ceres sings her blessings on you.
This is a most majestic vision, and harmoniously charming. May I be bold to think these spirits?
Spirits, which are by my art, I have from their confines called to enact my present fancies.
Let me live here ever. So rare a wondered mother and a wise makes this place paradise.
Sweet now, silence, or else our spell be marred.
Come, temperate nymphs, and help to celebrate a contract of true love. Be not too late.
I forgot that foul conspiracy of the beast Caliban and his confederates against my life. Aught is almost come. Avoid, no more.
This is strange. Your mother's in some passion that works her strongly.
Never till this day saw I her touched with anger so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a moved sort, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended. These are actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherits shall dissolve. And, like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness. My old brain is troubled. Be not disturbed in my infirmity. If you be pleased, retire to my cell and there repose. A turn or two I'll walk to still my beating mind.
We wish you peace.
Peace.
Come with the thought. I thank thee, Ariel. Come.
Thy thoughts I cleave to. What is your pleasure?
We must prepare to meet with Caliban.
My commander, when I presented Ceres, I thought to have told thee of it, but I feared lest I might anger thee.
Say again, where didst thou leave these varlets?
I told you, ma'am, they were red hot with drinking, so full of valor that they smoked the air for breathing in their faces, beat the ground for kissing of their feet. Then I beat my tabor, at which, like unbacked colts, they pricked their ears, lifted up their noses as they smelt music. Also, I charmed their ears. They my lowing followed through toothed briars, sharp furzes, pricking gores, and thorns, which entered their frail shins. At last I left them in the filthy mantled pool beyond your cell, there dancing up to the chins, lest the foul lake o'erstump their feet.
Oh, this was well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible retain thou still. The trumpery in my house, go bring it hither, for stale to catch these thieves.
I go.
A devil, a born devil on whose nurture can never stick, on whom my pains humanly taken, all lost, quite lost. I will plague them all, even to roaring. Come, hang them on this line.
Pray you, tread softly. We now are near her cell.
Monster! Your fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, has done a little better than play the jack with us.
Monster, I do smell all horse piss, at which my nose is in great indignation.
So is mine. Do you hear me, monster? If you should take a displeasure against you, look you.
Thou wert but a lost monster.
Oh, good, my lord. Oh, give me thy favor still. Be patient, for the prize I bring thee shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore, speak softly, all hushed as midnight yet.
Hey, but to lose our bottles in the pool?
There is not only disgrace and dishonor in that monster, but an infinite loss.
That's more to me than my wedding. Yet this is your harmless fairy monster?
I will fetch off my bottle, though I be o'er ears for my labor.
Prithee, my king, be quiet. Seest thou here? This be the mouth of the cell. No noise, and enter. Do that good mischief which may make this island thine own forever. And I, thy Caliban, thy infant liquor.
Give me thy hand. I do begin to have a bloody thoughts.
Oh, King Stefano, oh, peer, oh, worthy Stefano, look at what a wardrobe here is for thee.
Oh, let it alone, thou fool, it is but trash.
Oh, monster, we know not what belongs to frippery. Oh, King Stefano.
Put off that gown, Trinculo. By this hand I'll have that gown.
Thy grace shall have it.
Oh, let it alone, and do the matter first. If she awake, from toe to crown, she will fill our skins with pinches, make us strange stuff.
Be you quiet, monster. Mistress Line, is not this my jerkin?
Monster, come, put some lime upon your fingers, and away with the rest.
Oh, I'll have none of it. We shall lose our time, and all be turned into barnacles or to saints with her foreheads villainous low.
Monster, lay to your fingers. Help to bear this away to my hogshead of wine, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Go on, carry this.
And this.
Aye, and this.
Hey, Mom! Hey!
There it goes! Still down!
Fury! There, tyrant! There! Hawk! Hawk! Go charge my goblins that grind joints with dry convulsions. Shorten up their sinews with aged cramp.
Oh, hark, they roar!
Let them be hunted soundly. At this hour lies at my mercy all mine enemies. Shortly shall all my labors end, and thou shalt have the air of freedom. For little, follow and do me the service. Now does my project gather to a head. My charms crack not, my spirits obey, and time goes upright with his carriage. How's the day?
On the 6th hour, at which time, my lady, you said our work should cease.
I did say so when first I raised the Tempest.
Hmm.
Say, my spirit, how fares the king and his followers?
Confined together, in the same fashion as you gave in charge, just as you left them. All prisoners, ma'am. They cannot budge till your release. The king, his brother, and your sister, all three distracted, and the remainder mourning over them, brimful of sorrow and dismay. But chiefly her that you termed, ma'am, the good old Dame Gonzalo. Her tears run down her face like winter's drops from eaves of reeds. Your charm so strongly worksome that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, ma'am, were I human.
And mine shall. Hast thou, which art but e'er, touch a feeling of their afflictions, and shall not myself, one of their kind that relish all as sharply passionate as they, be kindlier moved than how? Though their high wrongs I am stuck to the quick, yet with my nobler reason 'gainst my fury do I take part. The rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. They being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown further. Go then, release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, ma'am.
You elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves, and you that on the sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune, and do fly him when he comes back. You demi-puppets that by moonshine do make the green sour ringlets. I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azured vault set roaring war, the strong-based promontory. Have I made shake? Graves at my command have waked their sleepers, oped and let them forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I here abjure, and when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine end upon their senses that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury it some fathoms deep in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound. I'll drown my book. A solemn air, and the best comforter to an unsettled fancy. Cure thy brains, now useless, boiled in thy skull. There stand, for you are all spell-stopped. Holy Gonzalo, honorable friend, the charm dissolves apace. Oh, good Gonzalo, my true preserver and loyal ma'am, to her thou followest. I will pay thy graces home, both in word and deed. Most cruelly did thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. Thy brother was a furtherer in the act. Thou art pinched for now, Sebastian. Flesh and blood, you, sister mine, that entertained ambition, expelled remorse and nature, whom with Sebastian would here have killed your king. I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. Ariel, fetch me the hat and rapier in my cell. Quickly, spirit, thou shalt ere long be free.
Where the bee sucks, there suck I. In a cowslip spell I lie. There I couch when owls do cry. On the bat's back I do fly. After summer merrily, 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 shall I live now under the blossom that hangs on the bough.
Why, that's my dainty Ariel. Shall miss thee, but yet thou shalt have your freedom. So. To the king's ship, invisible as thou art, there shalt thou find the mariners asleep under the hatches, and force them to this place, and presently, I prithee.
I drink the air before me, and return or ere your pulse twice beat.
All torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. Some heavenly power guide us out of this fearful country.
Behold, Sir King, the wronged Duchess of Milan, Prospero, now does speak to thee. I embrace thy body, and to thee and thy company I bid a hearty welcome.
Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood, and since I saw thee, the affliction of my mind amends, with which I fear a madness held me. Thy dukedom I resign, and do entreat thou pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospero be living and be here?
First, noble friend, let me embrace thine age, whose honor cannot be measured or confined. Welcome, my friends all. But you, my brace of lords, were I so minded, I could here pluck his highness's frown upon you and justify you traitors.
The devil speaks in him.
No. For you, most wicked one, whom to call sister would even infect my mouth. I do forgive thy rankest fault, all of them, and require my dukedom of thee, which perforce I know thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation. How hast thou met us here, whom 3 hours since were racked upon this shore, where I have lost my dear son Ferdinand?
I'm woe for it, sir.
Oh, irreparable is the loss, and patience says it is past her cure.
As great to me as late, and supportable to make the dear loss, have I means make much weaker than you may call to comfort you, for I have lost a daughter.
A daughter?
Pray you, look in. My dukedom, since you have given me, I will requite you with as good a thing, at least bring forth a wonder to content you, as much as me my dukedom.
Sweet lord, you play me false.
No, my dearest love, I would not for the world.
Yes, for a score of kingdoms you should wrangle, and I would call it fair play.
Oh, if this prove a vision of the island, one dear son shall I twice lose.
Most high miracle.
Though the seas threaten, they are merciful. I have cursed them without cause.
Now all the blessings of a glad father compass thee about. Arise and say how thou camest here.
Oh, wonder! How many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is! Oh, brave new world that has such people in it!
'Tis new to thee.
What is this maid with whom thou wast at play? Your eldest acquaintance cannot be 3 hours. Is she the goddess that has severed us and brought us thus together?
Sir, she is mortal, but by immortal providence she's mine. I chose her when I could not ask my father for his advice, nor thought I had one. She is daughter to this famous Duchess of Milan, of whom so often I have heard renown, but never saw before, of whom I have received a second life.
Oh, I am hers. But oh, how oddly will it sound that I must ask my child forgiveness.
There, sir, stop. Let us not burden our remembrances with a heaviness that's gone.
Look down, O gods, and on this couple drop a blessed crown.
I say amen, Gonzalo.
Was Milan thrust from Milan, that his issue should become king of Naples? Rejoice beyond a common joy, and set down with gold on lasting pillars. In one voyage did Claribel her husband find at Tunis, and Ferdinand, her brother, found a wife, where he himself was lost. Prospero, her dukedom in this poor isle, and all of us ourselves, when no man was his own.
Give me your hands. Let grief and sorrow still embrace his heart that doth not wish you joy.
Be it so. Amen. Look, sir, there are more of us.
The best news is that we have safely found our king and company. The next, our ship, which but 3 glasses since we gave out split, is tight and yare and bravely rigged as when we first put out to sea.
Ma'am, all this service have I done since I went.
My tricksy spirit.
Oh, these are not natural events. They strengthen from strange to stranger. Say, how came you hither?
We were dead of sleep, And how, we not know, we were awaked, where we freshly beheld our royal good and gallant ship, and were brought moping hither.
Was 'twell done.
Bravely my diligence, thou be free.
This is as strange a maze as e'er man trod, and there is in this business more than nature was ever conduct of. Some oracle must rectify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, do not infect your mind with beating on the strangeness of this business. I'll resolve you, which to you shall seem probable of every these happened accidents. Till when, be cheerful, and think of each thing well. Come hither, spirit. Set Caliban and his companions free, untie the spell. There are yet missing of your company some few odd lads that you remember not. Mark, but the badges of these men, my lords, when say if they be true, this mishapen knave, his mother was a witch, and one so strong that could control the moon. These three have robbed me, and this demi-devil, for he's a bastard one, had plotted with them to take my life. Two of these fellows you must know and own. This thing of darkness, I acknowledge mine.
Oh, I shall be pinched to death!
Is this not Stefano, my drunken butler?
He is drunk. Now, where had he wine?
And Trinculo is reeling ripe. Where should they find this grand liquor that hath gilded him? How camest thou in a pickle?
I've been in such a pickle since I saw you last that I fear me will never out of my bones.
How now, Stefano?
Oh, touch me not. I am not Stefano, but a cramp.
You'd be king of the isle, sirrah.
I should have been a sore one then.
This is as strange a thing as e'er I looked on.
He is as disproportioned in his manners as in his shape. Go, sirrah, to my cell. Take with you your companions. As you look to have my pardon, trim it handsomely.
Aye, that I will, and I'll be wise hereafter, and seek for grace. Oh, what a thrice double ass was I to take this drunkard for a god, and worship this dull fool.
Go to, away.
And bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
Sir, I invite your highness and your train to my poor cell, where you shall take your rest for this one night. And in the morn I'll bring you to your ship, and so to Naples, where I have hoped to see the nuptial of these, our dear beloved solemnized. And thence retire me to my Milan, where every third thought shall be of my grave.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ears strangely.
I'll deliver all, and promise you calm seas, auspicious gales, and sails so expeditious that shall catch your royal fleet far off. My Ariel, chick, that is thy charge. Then to the elements be free, and fare thou well. Now my charms are all overthrown, and what strength I have's mine own, which is most faint. Now 'tis true I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have got my dukedom, and pardon the deceiver, dwell in this bare island by your spell, but release me from my bands, with the help of your good hands, gentle breath of yours, my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending despair, unless I be relieved by prayer which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardon be, let your indulgence Set me free.